Now, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has confirmed for the first time that Ukrainian troops have been active in Russia's Belgorod region as they seek to protect Ukrainian towns near to the border. Now, some Ukrainian troops do remain in parts of the neighbouring Russian region of Kursk, 8 months after that cross-border incursion into Kursk, even though Russian forces have recaptured much lost territory. We're going to talk to our correspondent in a moment, but first let's hear from Volodymyr Zelensky in his nightly address.
Today, Chief of Defence Alexander Syrsky reported separately on the front line our presence in the Kursk region and our presence in the Belgorod region. We continue to conduct active operations on the border areas on the enemy's territory, and this is absolutely right. The war must return to where it came from.
Well, let's cross then to Kyiv, to our correspondent there, our Ukraine correspondent, Gulliver Cragg. Gulliver, a bit of an admission here from Volodymyr Zelensky?
Well, yes, but Ukrainian officials haven't denied it in the last couple of weeks either. This is the first, official confirmation coming from the president that Ukrainian forces have made a small incursion into Belgorod region, which is another region of southwestern Russia bordering the Kursk region. And the part that they've gone into is the northwestern part of Belgorod region, just at the place where it borders the Kursk region and where it borders Sumy region of northeastern Ukraine. This is nothing like the lightning advance that they made into Kursk region in August 2024. I don't think they've even taken as much territory in Belgorod region as the tiny sliver that they still control in Kursk region. But if the president is confirming it, I guess it means that they're confident enough that they've established some positions there. That's near the village of Demidovka in the northwestern corner of Belgorod region. Volodymyr Zelensky said that this was important for the purposes mainly of defending Ukrainian territory. At the moment, the Ukrainian side is very worried about the possibility that Russia might launch a new attempt to take territory in Sumy region or in Kharkiv region, the other Ukrainian region there in the northeast of the country bordering Sumy region.
Gulliver, let's talk about the wider picture now and those hopes for some kind of ceasefire or a more solidified ceasefire. Donald Trump has been saying he's not happy with Russia bombing like crazy.
Yes, and Ukrainians are interpreting that as mainly being a reference to the bombing last Friday of Kryvyi Rih. A residential area of Zelensky's hometown was hit by cluster munitions. 9 children have died. Medics at the hospital there say that at least one more child is in a very critical condition. His life is definitely in danger. And I think that there are a couple of other kids who are not out of the woods either. Plus 10 adults were killed. And this has been particularly scandalous, a particular example of what actually Donald Trump used the word crazy, of apparently senseless bombing without any apparent purpose. And more than usual, it was very much possible to prove that, as I was lucky enough to get my hands on the CCTV footage from the restaurant where the Russian side claimed that the Ukrainian military were holding a high-level meeting with NATO allies. It's absolutely clear from the footage of the restaurant, and I went to the restaurant as well, so I can confirm that is the place and that there isn't another room that you don't see there. It's absolutely clear that there was no high-level meeting of militaries there. The only people in the restaurant really were its staff. They just wrapped up a meeting of representatives of the beauty industry, manicurists, pedicurists, and so on, who are, a couple of them are among the wounded. And so in reaction to that, Andriy Sybiga, the Ukrainian foreign minister, asked for a special meeting of the United Nations Security Council, which is happening today. The Ukrainian side very much hoping, I think, at today's meeting to hear more strong condemnations from the American side of Russia's actions, particularly of the killing of civilians and civilian children, which have been sorely absent from American diplomacy since Donald Trump came back to office in January. There's a lot of discussion in Ukrainian media today about whether these latest statements from Donald Trump indicate a sign that there's going to be a change in US policy. Everybody's saying don't get your hopes up too much. It's not likely that Donald Trump is suddenly going to start pushing for a new package of military aid to Ukraine, all the more so because latest polling in the United States show that only a plurality, I think that's what we call it, when it's 46% of Americans are in favor of more military aid to Ukraine, 44% against. So there's a margin that are in the don't knows, but you don't even have more than half of Americans clearly saying that they want more military aid to Ukraine. And on the Republican side, it's a very large majority that are against more military aid to Ukraine. But Donald Trump himself, I think, used the words, "I don't understand what's going on." Some Ukrainians are quipping that for once he's actually saying the truth. Perhaps he's realised that his interpretation of Vladimir Putin was wrong and that we might hope for a bit of a change in attitude and perhaps somehow some more US pressure on the Russians.